So, welcome all to the third session of avoiding dopamine relapse. So, before we move ahead, let's do a quick revision what we have done in the last session, last two session about dopamine relapse. So, what is dopamine relapse? It's like up and down stage of the dopamine that we have, right? So, if you are not careful, you will inevitably relapse. That means the down phase will definitely come, wherein actually we will not be able to uh, control our habits or the old habit which are not serving us anymore. That's why in this section we will describe a few specific things that we can do to avoid reverting back to our never-ending stimulation loop, mindless scrolling, or the kind of unintentional eating, junk food, and all those things. Those kind of cycles or periods we can avoid, or we can actually surpass easily. So, in that, we understood the first one as be aware when you start relapsing. In the beginning, only we need to become aware. If we are aware, but if we are not aware, but we are just mindlessly doing wherein actually dopamine industry is automatically coming, then after a certain period of time, we will not be able to control as well. That will be very difficult. In the beginning, if we are aware, then it is easier to control. Second is about understanding the battle between you and your mind. What is the battle? How is the battle happens? And in this battle, we need to remember one thing that in any case, we need not to or should not to or must not feel guilty. If you're feeling guilty, then all our energies, vital energies, will further go down and we will not be able to come back to the higher stage. Then, third was about understanding that the world is against you because all the companies, all the apps, everything is designed in such a way that they want to grab our attention to their app, and that's how they make the money. So we need to remain aware um, of the trap or the kind of design. It is by design. It is like that because that is their bread and butter. Then the fourth stage is to prepare a contingency plan. If we fall into the relapse phase or the phase wherein actually we start seeing ourselves falling trap into that kind of mindless scrolling or the kind of loop, right? So how we should be, what are the steps that I should be taking so that I can come back to my previous stage or come out of the trap, that I need to prepare in advance. That is called contingency plan. If I have those steps which works best for me ready, then it is always good or it is advisable to go and check the messages or the steps that we have written in some place. During that time, if it is not present in the written form, it is very difficult to retrieve from our memory. This is not written in the book, but it is from my experience. Actually, I'm telling, and it is very true. Mind fog is highest during that time, so it is very difficult to retrieve during that time. It is always good to have this documented and keep it ready. Then the next step is about put a sustainable system in place. Sustainable system. What is a sustainable system? Which can be kind of need not be very rigorous, but should be sustainable in long run. The key to lowering your level of stimulation is to implement a simple and sustainable system that doesn't necessarily entail a complete shutdown from distraction, but it does require putting in place a habit that will help you to stay focused. Right. So even if it is not complete, getting rid of the stimulations slowly and gradually we can reduce it, and that will be easier to follow and sustainable as well. The sixth step is cultivate the here and now neurotransmitters. Here and now neurotransmitter is a very powerful neurotransmitter. Just like dopamine is a neurotransmitter, similarly we have this here and now neurotransmitter, and that prevents the overstimulation or helps us to come out of it. How? That includes endorphin, oxytocin, and or serotonin. These are the three neurotransmitters. Those are categorized into here and now neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters are the opposite of dopamine neurotransmitter in that they make you feel calmer and more present. To activate these neurotransmitters, incorporate activities that ground you in the present, such as meditation or stretching, mindfulness, contemplative walking, right? And then deep social interactions, boredom. These are the activity that induces the secretion of endorphin, oxytocin, or serotonin. Right. So let's go a little deeper into each of the activity, how they are going to help us. The first one is meditation. By meditating even for just a few minutes, you can practice being more present in the moment. Being more present in the moment. That is so important. Why? Because if we observe ourselves, our mind, many times we see ourselves in the past or in future. So if we want to come to the present, right, then meditation is a great tool. And by practicing more and more, we will eventually and effortlessly live in more in the present moment. To do so, close your eyes and focus your attention on your breath. So simple. Just close your eyes, or sometimes without closing your eyes, also you can focus your attention to your breath, and that's it. That's all actually it needs. You can also place your attention on your five senses. This is even more easier and even more helpful. Sometimes it is easier to put our attention on breath. Sometimes it is easier to put our attention on the five senses. How the senses are actually perceiving their object of sensory objects. Like just stay calm and try to listen all the sound that is surrounded to us and coming automatically. Do not create any resistance and just try to pay attention to it. Try to see with your eyes what all you can see around in and around the room where you are sitting. So your eyes senses, similarly you try to smell if something different smell is coming. Be mindful. And the moment we are mindful and trying to um, keep our attention or track our attention through our senses, automatically we come to the present moment. So from one sense to another sense, we can switch and we can observe what's going on. That's all. There are no incorrect ways to meditate. So important. Few people do not meditate, assuming that if it is incorrect, then it might be extra harmful. But that is not true. There is no incorrect way to meditate. We just need to start. We just need to sit. And sometimes we won't feel the difference, and sometimes we'll feel a real great difference. But in any case, both the ways actually it is useful. In both the cases, actually it is useful and it is helping. But if we are thinking that on the days when we are not feeling outside the impact, then we will not feel motivated to do it on a regular basis. And it is very true that the experience changes even for the highly elevated yogis, right? So the experience cannot remain same all the time during the meditation. Then comes stretching. So stretching is when you stretch, you automatically relax your body and slow your breathing. So during our stretching, we slow down. Automatically, our breathing also slows down, which enables us to feel calmer and more present. And then comes mindfulness practice. This means being aware of what's going inside you and around you. There are many ways to practice mindfulness. For example, you can eat slowly while noticing each flavor or texture. It is so important and so easy, and no extra time is required to practice mindfulness. When we are eating, we can just practice this. Right. So just see how is the texture of the food, what kind of flavor it is coming, what kind of nutrition it is carrying, and feel the benefit of it. So you automatically remain in the present moment. Or you can place your attention on your body and observe all the sensations you are experiencing from head to toe. This is also very, very important um, practice that is kind of vipassana meditation teaches us, right? Observe all the sensation that is happening throughout our body, from top to toe, from toe to top. We can actually traverse, and that is also a very important way to bring our mind to the present. You could also practice completing household or work related chores while trying to be present as much as possible. And then comes the next practice, that is contemplative working. How present are you when you go for a walk? Do you hear the birds singing? Do you feel the winds blowing? Or do you notice the shape of the cloud? Often people become stuck in their head thinking of their next task or worrying about problems in their life. So these are the things which is certainly not going to be useful of any use. The more and more we think about the problem, that kind of increases its intensity. So rather than, if we want to really plan, then after the walking is over, come back to your desk, okay, and take a pen and paper, and there it is best to plan how to tackle the problem, and that is the best way to effectively do the problem solving or the best decision making strategy. But if we are just thinking about the problem but we are not doing anything, okay, while working or while doing anything else, if we are thinking the problem, we can hardly get any good solution, and rather we are not mindful during that time, and we are not going to bring any use also, right? So that is all about contemplative working. We can hear the sounds that we have never heard before if we are doing a very mindful working, and then followed by contemplation. Then the next practice that author is saying about deep social interactions. What is deep social interactions? Interacting with other human beings activate neurotransmitters such as oxytocin, right? Just by interacting with other, means being social, we are activating this neurotransmitter, which is sometimes called the love hormone, right? The more present you are, the more you will be able to connect and experience a pleasant sense of bonding. Therefore, make sure you spend enough time around the people you care about. So we can all practice this one today only with our loved ones. When we are connecting with them, we need to make sure that we are not doing anything else, but we are just connecting with them. And by this simple step, we are we ought to experience a different kind of bonding with them. Our bonding will increase, and we can actually get more of this neurotransmitter, oxytocin, like love hormone. So the feel good factor also will be better. Emotionally, we will be more recharged and more emotional intelligence, like will be better at emotional intelligence also. Then comes the boredom. Practicing doing nothing is a good way to lower your level of stimulation. Okay, doing nothing. Doing nothing is a good way to lower our stimulation. How? Because when we don't do anything, our mind actually our mind constantly wants to do something, right? For a moment, be okay with do nothing. So mind will resist for sure. But however, that is what actually we need to watch non-judgmentally. So we need to sit down and observe things in silence or walk with no specific intent or destination in the mind. By incorporating some of the above activities, you will be calmer and more present during your day. As a result, you will reduce the risk of becoming overstimulated. That risk will be kind of gone. What about you? What activities could you implement in your daily routine? I would say whether you are doing anything or not, two to three things definitely we should be doing, and hardly much of dedicated time we need for that. One is the social interaction. Anyway, we are interacting with people, so even for less time, make sure that we are fully attentive while we are interacting. And then practicing mindfulness. For this also, we don't need any dedicated time. While eating our normal meal also, we can practice mindfulness while doing any kind of daily chores or while reading books, any activity, we can practice the mindfulness. And the more we practice, the better we become at it. And we can easily stay in present. And everyone wants to stay in present, but the mind is actually taking the ride. Why it is taking the ride? Because it is not habituated of this practice. So now coming to the action steps. The action steps is right. Using your action guide, write down at least one activity you could engage in every day in order to stay calm and focused. One activity. What is that activity? Wherein we will be practicing this on a day-to-day basis, and that will help us to stay more calm and more focused. Commit to a 30-day challenge to benefit from dopamine detox. I encourage you to implement a simple daily routine to adhere to for the next 30 days. See it as a 30-day challenge. This will help you avoid reverting to your old habits as soon as you finish your dopamine detox. Right? So, how it will help? It will avoid reverting our old habits as soon as we finish our dopamine detox. So important, isn't it? So, alternatively, what we can do? We can read the other books in the series as you continue your journey towards higher level of focus and productivity. Each subsequent book in the series will help us build a critical skill in just 7 days. Few of the books that he has recommended immediately to pursue is Immediate Action, that is book number 2, wherein we will understand how to avoid or overcome the procrastination. Book 3 is all about powerful focus. we learn about how to gain critical and develop leisure sharp focus. Leisure sharp focus. And book number 4 says strategic mindset. We will refine our critical thinking skill and develop a crystal clear strategy that will help us skyrocket our productivity. Okay, so one book is about focus, one about is avoiding taking action by and avoiding procrastination, and one book is about mindset, strategic mindset, which will refine our critical thinking skill. Critical thinking skill is very, very important, and that will be addressed in this book. And thereby, we are developing a crystal clear strategy that will help us skyrocket our productivity. Now, coming to the conclusion part of this book, we can choose to control our focus, or we can let someone else to take it away from us. When we learn to avoid highly stimulating activities that destroy us or our ability to remain calm and focused, you will find yourself capable of taking your major task with more ease than ever before. Going through a dopamine detox will help you lower your level of stimulation and ensure you work on your major tasks. We need to remember that the excitement and fulfillment are not same thing. As we learn to eliminate external stimulations and immerse ourselves in our work, then what happens? Hobbies in our work, hobbies or relationship, we will experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and feel much better. We will also end up becoming far more productive and accomplishing many of our goals and dreams. This is very, very important. We all want to accomplish many of our goals that we have, but for that we need to have more focus and productivity. So this dopamine detox will bring us back to our form. So what we need to do, let's stop letting our environment hijack our brain and regain our control of instead control of it instead. This is the key to a healthy and productive life. So other books that those are in the series are also listed in this book here. However, author is kind of giving advice to go through about these 4 books for sure. One book already we have gone through, and these 3 books are a little more popular and effective. So with this, I'm signing off for today, and we'll meet tomorrow again with a new book and with some new reflection and with a new approach. So the new book, we will try to read less and reflect more, wherein every day we will be taking one practical action that we need to do and 2 reflective questions on which we can